weekly prayer theme is the word individuality. Now, this is a really big word, but it basically means that I'm special and you're special. Each of us is an individual, is an original, is someone completely different to everyone else. We have different hairstyles, we have different styles of clothing, we have different films that we like, different foods we like to eat. Everything about us is different in one way or the other. And yet, we have lots of things in common with people. You might like the same films as your friends do. You might like the same food as your brothers and sisters. But there's always something that's a little bit different, and that makes you special. Now, this week on Story Keepers, a story about the fishermen that Jesus called to be his disciples. Now, these were his first disciples, his first 4. He picked these 4 before anyone else. And according to Mark, who wrote this gospel, he said some really interesting things to them. So I'd like you to take a listen of Jesus calling the fishermen. So did you notice the special thing that Jesus said to his disciples? He said, "Follow me and I will teach you to catch people." This is strange, isn't it? Because we don't think of catching people unless, we're chasing after our friends, trying to catch them, trying to take them. But we don't often think of grown-ups saying to each other, "Come, follow me, and I'll teach you to catch people." You see, what Jesus is talking about here is he's going to teach them how to bring people to them. He's going to teach them how to draw a crowd, how to get a whole crowd of people to gather in one place to listen to them. And Jesus still does that today for us. He says to each and every one of us, "Come and follow me. I'll teach you how to make people want to hear what you have to say. I will give you all my lessons and all my stories, and people will want to come and hear the great things I've taught you." And that's an amazing job, and one that Jesus says we all have, every single one of us, because each of us was put here for a special reason. Each of us is special. Do you remember me telling you earlier about the different things that make us different? Because sometimes we have the same hair colour as someone else. Sometimes we have the same eye colour as someone else. But there's one thing that is never the same. And that's this. It's our thumbprint or our fingerprint. And I just want you all to now, just take your thumb for me and just have a look at it. Do you see all the lines and swirls? Do you see them? They're really, really faint and really, really little. But if you look really closely, you'll see that your thumb kind of does a little spiral on it, doesn't it? And that spiral is completely different to everyone else. In fact, if you look, the spiral on your thumb is completely different to the spiral on your finger. Even they are different. Isn't that amazing? The difference in just those 2 parts. And God drew that. All the millions and billions of people in the world, and he drew the lines on our thumbs because he said, this is the one thing that's going to make you completely different to everyone else. That this can never be copied. This can never be duplicated. No one can ever do this like you can. So whenever you're putting your thumb up to someone, you're not just putting a thumb up, you're putting your thumb. Your unique, one-of-a-kind thumb. Isn't that incredible? This week is all about individuality and about us being different, being special. So this week I'm going to give you a couple of challenges. The first one is any time someone does something really good, or you think something really good has happened, I want you to give them a thumb up. And I don't mean just like a little, hello. I mean a really big, like big thumb, maybe even 2 thumbs. Why not? Let's go with 2 thumbs. And really show people like, the thing that makes me special thinks you're great. The thing that makes me special thinks you've done really well. To give as many thumbs up as you can. Your second challenge is a piece of paper that hopefully your teachers have. Now on it, it should have a magnifying glass, the kind that detectives use when they're going and looking for clues and looking, that's right, for fingerprints. And on it, it says, God made me special. Now in the middle of that magnifying glass, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to paint your thumb. Give it a little paint. And I want you to press your thumb into that magnifying glass. So that each of us, all of us, can have somewhere stuck in our books or somewhere stuck on the walls a reminder that God made me to be completely different to everyone else. Do you know why? Because God wanted a you to love. And so he decided and loved us into being. And now he has us to love. So those are your 2 challenges. Create your thumb somewhere as a reminder of how special you are and how much God loves you. Enough to draw every little line on your thumb. And also don't forget, lots of thumbs up this week to everyone doing something brilliant. Because the thing that makes me special thinks you guys are brilliant. So I'm Chris, the High Peak Chaplain. God bless.